Okay, hello everybody. It's 12 o'clock my time. I don't know why I'm telling you that. It's Tuesday, March 25th. You're here at the Chaos Weekly Community Call. Really good to see everybody here. I could not muster a question today. I just did not have it in me. So my question is, what would your question be? Just like a little meta. And then we can all answer each other's questions, maybe. I don't know. If you would
The
like to
question
add
should
your...
be jargon related.
I just put it in there.
What's your favorite jargon?
You know what frame relay is?
We will after the end of this meeting. We will know all the things. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you all know the drill. I don't know that we have any new faces today, but if we do, yeah, if you would like to add your name to the agenda, you are welcome to do so. You don't have to put a question in unless you have one. We do record these, so if you want your camera off, that is perfectly fine, absolutely fine. And this is part of our Chaos Code of Conduct. So just keeping that in mind as we interact with each other today in the meeting. First, this agenda is super light, so would love any other topics that you want to discuss, just drop them in here. This is an open agenda. This is not my agenda. I do not own it. It is a community agenda, so drop your items in here. We can talk about them. I just wanted to first say thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry that some of the Slack channels got spammed with a reminder. I don't know how that happened because not all of them did. So I have to go back and figure out why some of them did, some of them didn't. Why it was
random.
What's that?
It seems super random. I agree.
Right. Yeah. So there's some setting I did. So I'm trying to do it using the Zapier. I guess that's how you say that. I don't know how to say things. But it did, yeah. So I copied and pasted some of those. So maybe I had a setting I don't know. I will fix it. But I'm really hoping that it will help us alleviate some confusion about times and whatnot. Because it does work. It was correct. It just put it in the wrong channels everywhere. So that's my fault. I'm wondering if you all think that, so I have the reminder set for 30 minutes before a meeting starts. Is that appropriate? Do we want an hour? Do we want 10 minutes? Like what would be better than 30 minutes, or is 30 minutes okay?
It seems fine to me. It's just a Slack reminder?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that seems fine. I know that To-Do Group does that. They have their OSPO bot thing, and it's nice. It's handy, I think.
Yeah, it just I think helps kind of confirm when stuff is happening. And by doing it 30 minutes before, I don't have to worry about time conversion because that's the other thing is like when I have like, okay, it's this time and all these different things, it was like 12 different time zones because we have, I think what we say, like we have 29 time zones or something like that where we're represented the chaos community. So this just kind of helps everybody, I think. So I'm just going to make a note here to myself that 30 minutes seems okay.
The 29 time zone metric. I agree.
Yeah.
I heard that as well.
Yeah, it's wild, right? It's wild. It's kind of cool though, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. Okay. So yeah, any other questions, comments? I hope this is going to be helpful, but as we go, if it becomes obnoxious, we can sort that out and put them all in one channel or something like that. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all's patience on that. You're amazing and awesome, and I love you. Thank you. Okay, the next one is, I don't know if is Harmony on here? I do not see Harmony yet. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and ask on the behalf of this Tech Writers team. So we have actually it stemmed from an idea that Callie put in the general channel, I think, of to have a page for each working group on the website so that she could just point people to the proper working group. We don't really have that information consolidated anywhere aside from, I think there's one page that lists the working groups, but it doesn't really give you any information about the group. Like what's the group about? What's their mission? What are they trying to do, accomplish in the group? How do they, where is the link to the Slack and the link to the calendar and all that? So, so that information needs to be built. And so we kind of handed it over to the Tech Writers team, which we're very excited to work on it. but we're missing that piece of actually gathering that information. So if, am I okay? Do you all hear me okay?
What?
Funny. I just, the thing says trying to connect. I'm like, was I not connected before? I don't understand what's happening. But okay, it looks like I'm still good. I
Yeah,
don't actually
you're
know what
fine. Actually, I did
that's.
notice like your dock is not there. It just cut up.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Okay, maybe it's just the doc. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So anyway, if you are in a working group that are a leader of a working group, that's the other piece of this is the co-chairs really aren't listed anywhere. So we're trying to just compile that information. So I'm not sure actually what Harmony wants you to do if you are leading a working group. I'm not sure where to put that information or tell you, but just know that that's something that we're going to need. So let's put this in here.
So I
So
think
I
my only
would,
concern with that is then we end up with the chairs being listed in multiple places because we have the chairs listed on the repositories for the projects or for the working groups that have repositories. And so this is why we don't have this, is because I think we've talked about it a few times, and if we put too much detail on that page, it gets out of date and out of sync with other things. But I also agree with Callie because I wish we had this data somewhere. We have that one page in the knowledge base that lists the projects, or sorry, lists the working groups. But I feel like that's not enough. So I agree we need this. I'm just concerned about how we do it and ending up with, because I think we used to have this for the working groups or more detail about the working groups. And I think at some point
It used to be on the calendar page.
Yep.
okay.
so
Yeah.
I was going to make a similar comment. So this move is at odds with previous decisions that we have made. And I would agree with Dawn that and maybe this wasn't what Dawn was saying, but it's what I heard, that maybe the better place for this to be would be in the knowledge base and not necessarily on the website. It needs to exist somewhere, but the last website redesign we did, the purpose of the website redesign was to simplify things and to kind of create some clear paths. And since that redesign, I think we've been adding more and more stuff. So there is some complexity on the website, and this would add even more complexity. So I'd like to see the information in the knowledge base. So basically hosted on GitHub and searchable through the knowledge base without its own main navigation page.
Yeah, I don't know because I also think that the knowledge base is a bit challenging because it's kind of hard to search and kind of hard to find things. I'm just concerned that this data gets out of date with the repositories and the other places where we have the same information. Because if you look at like the repositories for the working groups that I run, just because those are the ones I'm familiar with, like the funding working group has the chairs that has all of the details about the project. That's where we go to update it when we make a change. Same way with the data science working group. So this gives us one more place that we need to then update, and one more place to get out of date.
We
But
could
I
just
also agree that we need better information about the working groups because people just don't know what the working groups are, and I think newcomers struggle, and I struggle every time I need to promote a working group, which is why I've put so much of my data for the working groups I run in GitHub so that I have a page that I can point people to. But not every working group has a repository.
if that information is in the README for the working group, then it's pretty easy to point the knowledge base at that README for the working group without creating any new content. It's just a matter of creating the page for the knowledge base. And I actually agree that the knowledge base is. I'm not a big fan of the knowledge base that we ended up using. I think we'd had some problems with search, integrating search on the site, and the navigation and layout has never been ideal. Uh, but based on the design decisions that we've made in the past, the knowledge base would be the appropriate place for it. And I guess I don't really have that strong of opinion either way. I would just say, are we relitigating decisions that we already made? And I guess reflect on why we made those decisions in the past.
I will say one of the things that I really like on repos that I've seen done, it's mostly in like the applied mathematics space where they need to like walk you through what the things mean because the code is unreadable. Um, if you can do just like a 2-minute video that's just like, here's the working groups, here's what we have, and put that at the top, it also helps to inbound leads to the GitHub page. But that might be it, one goes stale super fast. But it's a nice idea to consider.
You've done an intro video before, haven't you, Elizabeth? I don't know if it was like the different working groups, but it was a while ago, and it may have just been like welcome to chaos.
Yeah, there's been a few that have been done. I'm trying to even think of the recent, so the recent one I just did for the educational project, I don't even remember if I listed the working groups or not, because it does go out of date quickly and we wanted this content to be evergreen as possible. So that's a good question. I don't even remember if I did it or not. But to that end, I mean, I think, I think that's a good idea to at least have that in the educational video section. And then that would be something that we just are aware that we update a lot. Every time there's a change of a working group, one comes, one goes. We just need to make sure somewhere, maybe peculiar there, like we tag, I don't know, whoever's starting the new one tags peculiar and says, hey, we just made this change. This is going to reflect down through the educational videos. Likewise, when we archive any of the groups.
Elizabeth, sorry, I didn't get that discussion. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Peculiar. So we were just talking about providing information about each working group in text, but then Sal had an idea of doing a 2-minute video on here are the working groups, here's what they're trying to accomplish, here's how you get involved. But that would be something that would need to be updated, not every day, but maybe a few times a year. So as long as we had a process by which we could loop the education team in to when that change needs to happen, is that something that you think would be interesting? Maybe we have it already.
Yes, I think I recorded something on CHAOSS working group, but it has not been published. It's part of the recent, the ones that were recorded after the launch. So those are not published already. So with what you're saying, I'm thinking to add that to let people know that the working group involves. I mean, some of them depends on the project that we're working on at the moment and stuff like that information you provided.
But we have that video, but the video was actually designed not to be updated every single time we have a working group change. It was designed to point to the knowledge base page that lists all of the working groups. What I'm wondering is if we just need to improve that knowledge base page of all the working groups and maybe link to it from somewhere on the website to make it more obvious, because we have this page that has all of the working groups on it. And I feel like if we then create a whole bunch of new pages, I think we're just duplicating information. I think part of the challenge is that not all of the working groups have code. So not all of the working groups have repositories. So not all of them have that thing to link to with more information. And so I think that's part of the challenge, but I don't know how to fix that.
I think the challenge, there's also a challenge around the kind of the communication complexity we have in the project. We have a lot of different working groups. Those working groups are kind of siloed. We have a lot of different communication channels. So sorting out where decisions are made or where work is happening is difficult for members of the community that have already been here. I can't imagine how difficult it is for a newcomer.
Okay, this is taking us down a little side quest, but I had Mary Blessing and I had talked about pulling all of the co-chairs into their own Slack channel so that we can have these kind of conversations that apply to all the working groups, but that, you know, would be something that maybe the co-chairs figure out, or do you all think that's just like one more Slack channel? For those who are leading groups, do you think that's just one more Slack channel that you have to be in? Which is kind of why we haven't done it yet, because it's like, oh gosh, one more channel. But I think that there are times when it would be helpful to just check in with the co-chairs, make sure they're doing okay, nobody's burning out, like those kinds of issues. And also something like this where we could kind of figure that out logistically, how this would work together. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I would say that other groups that I'm in where we have kind of similar structure, like the CNCF, there is a channel for leads, which is where they communicate like big changes and things. So I think it's not a bad idea.
I think I have a question here. When we talk about co-chairs, I'm looking at this inclusive leadership. Could we say that co-chairs, inclusive leadership metrics refer to co-chairs as those that are on the leadership pipeline to like get to a board. How do I figure this out? So I'm working on this thing and then I'm looking at inclusive leadership. So I'm kind of trying to understand it. Should I refer co-chairs as part of those that are on the track so that can be selected to get to the board of directors? Or can I refer to only, using inclusive leadership, can I refer to only those in board of directors as part of the inclusive leadership when we talk about the metrics? I kind of like get some overview about that. I don't know if somebody can help me, like give me more explanation about that.
Is the question about the inclusive, how to interpret the inclusive leadership metric that CHAOSS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because Peculiar is writing the inclusive leadership practitioner guide. And we've had some feedback from Georg that the way it's written now maybe doesn't accurately reflect the intent behind the metric. So I think Peculiar was trying to get some more clarity.
Especially,
Which is maybe a slightly separate topic, maybe not quite the same as the working group meet or information topic, but it's related because we're talking about working group leadership.
okay, I raised that up because of the mention of co-chairs, and I'm trying to see where can I categorize them using that matrix. Yeah.
Just a general comment that I would have, our definition is a little vague. If I was interpreting it, I would include community managers, maintainers, co-leads, and the board in as part of that exploration of inclusive leadership. So those are kind of the groups that I would include. But that's my interpretation. So our metrics definition for this was purposefully a little bit vague because it has to be interpreted a little bit differently in whichever project we're looking at.
Okay, thank you, Kelly.
Hey everyone, Georg here. I heard you talking about the expert guide or the practitioner guide on the inclusive metrics. So thank you for moving that forward. If there was something I can help clarify, I'm here now.
I feel like we diverged from the topic a bit, though. I don't know if Elizabeth, you want to get us back on track.
Sure. So this came about because we were talking about getting this working group info. I don't know if Harmony is on here yet. No, I don't see yet. So that's okay. What I will do is I will do two things. I will take all of this feedback back to the tech writers group and just share that with them of like how this discussion went. And the second thing is I will create this group for working group co-chairs so that we can have conversations as needed for those folks, because there are sometimes conversations that would be helpful to have everybody together. And also I know Mary Blessing wants to do more work in just checking up on those folks and making sure that, you know, they're not burning out, and that like, is it time to rotate? Like, how's it going? So that would be a great way to connect with that group of folks as well for that purpose. So I will do those two things.
So I know
then,
I make the, oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, is there anything else? So go for it.
Well, I was just gonna say, I make the comment every time someone proposes adding a new communication channel. And that is that I would vote to not do that. So I think too many channels adds complexity to the project. It creates communication silos and kind of leads to a lack of transparency. So my general, maybe we need this channel. So but my general response to anytime anyone says, let's create a new Slack channel, I would say no. So I would vote no. So I think the Slack is it's not a great open source archive tool, right? It kind of creates silos and hides conversations. So.
I don't disagree with that at all, which is why we hadn't done it before, to be perfectly frank. But I'm just wondering, like, where could we have those conversations, if not in a separate channel? Like, how could we pull all the co-chairs together? So we don't really have like a mailing list. We don't have another place to do that, except for like maybe the general channel. But I feel like that would be maybe too noisy for everybody. I don't know. What do you all, is there any other comments about that? I'm just not sure like how to bring those folks together other than another Slack channel.
Hi, Elizabeth. This is Adeyinka. Yes. I actually want to say that we should consider it based on my experience with bringing all the DEI event badges together into a single channel to be able to communicate. And it's really helped facilitate communication with regards to badging events, such that even when a badger is facing a particular challenge, they are able to go to that channel and talk about it there. So anything that is not related to reviewing is not in the DEI working group, for instance, and then people are able to help follow up and help the reviewer. So I'm thinking it's a trade-off. Yeah, it has a tendency to too many channels can add complexity, and I completely agree with that. But can we try and see if it's helpful for all the co-chairs? And if it's not, we can always pack it up.
Is this something that we might want to talk about in the board meeting?
I mean, typically we make decisions in the community via consensus. The board meeting is really more for updates and things we couldn't really decide. I mean, you're welcome to bring it up on the board mailing list. I wouldn't wait for the board meeting. Personally, I don't think this needs to go to the board. I don't think a lot of the, not all of the board members sit on working groups as working group chairs, and not all the working group chairs are in the board.
Okay, I was just curious if this is a governance issue or.
No, because the way the chaos governance is structured is that we try to reach consensus in meetings like this, and that we only take something to the board if we've got a particular issue. But anyone's welcome to take anything to the board if you think it's something that they need to understand.
So I have
Ariane?
two,
Oh, go
two
ahead.
comments. One is, maybe it's time again to take a look at our Slack channels. If we add one, maybe we can make a little room by removing some. There have been a couple that have been like I think risk has been one that we have taken a look at several times. I don't think it gets a lot of traction. So there may be ways that we can also clean up our own number of Slack channels that we have right now, which is probably a good activity anyway. And then a question for you, Elizabeth, do we have any analytics on the website? Like who goes to what pages?
I don't know. I wish we did. I think that might be a question
Yes,
for Sean.
We do.
Kevin, what do you think?
yes, there are analytics built in.
So
We could
like,
add more if we wanted to, but there are general analytics built in.
would it tell
And
me
we
things
can
like,
track page views. So
okay, so would it track like, like under say like the knowledge base, as an example, community templates, revising metric template, you can kind of follow the path I'm doing. Would it tell me how many times that revising metric template has been clicked?
it's been a while since I've taken a peek, so I don't know if we have it completely set up, but we do have
Okay.
we have the capability to do that.
Okay.
I know we
Like-
can do it for metrics, individual metrics, and so I would imagine we can do that for. You're right, because I was thinking on like a Google Analytics side, like a
Yeah.
server side, but through the
Uh-huh.
WordPress plugins, we do have a few, a few traffic analysis data points that we could pull out.
Could we maybe look at that? That might help us. This also goes back to the conversation of content on the web page, and I agree with Kevin. Like we've added stuff over the years, and just for that conversation of I'm a person who throws away things, like maybe if we have a page that hasn't been clicked on for a year, maybe it's just creating like more information, more confusion on the web page than we really need.
I'm a fan of never getting rid of anything on web pages because we break links that we don't know exist.
I know, I'm just looking at like, so for example, like I mentioned the revising metric template, like that is something that we just literally don't use anymore, but it sits on the web page. So like to me, that's a candidate for not having, or it sits in the knowledge base. Like not having it out in front of people. That's all. Like it's
I would say it's a candidate for redirecting to the thing that we do use. I'm a big fan of redirecting pages to other things that might be useful rather than just removing things.
all right. Well,
But that's me.
we are different on those.
I just don't like to break people's blog posts because people blog about stuff and then when you delete things, you break other people's sites, and it's yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on because we do have a few other things on our list. Thank you, everybody, for a great conversation about this stuff. I appreciate you very much. Again, I will go back to Harmony and the Tech Writers. We'll figure out what to do about this page. So if you want to be part of that conversation, there is a Tech Writer channel you can join. If you have more feedback to give to that, happy to, and they do also have meetings every other week. So you are more than welcome to join that working group if that's something you want, or if you want to drop your feedback in that channel. It's in CHAOSS Africa Tech Writers, I think.
What was the
Okay.
what was the consensus on the Slack channel? Did everyone decide that that's what was going to happen?
I don't think we have a
Oh, for the
consensus.
co-chairs?
Yeah.
I don't think we had consensus yet. I think we had just
Okay.
brought the conversation up today.
Yep.
Okay.
We can talk about it again next week.
I would say though that having a conversation about this type of content, which has proved to be just a little bit controversial, that having that buried in the tech writers channel is probably not the right place for that conversation. I would say that we probably want to have that conversation in the general chat where more people can participate. And then when it comes time to implementing it, maybe the implementation in the tech writers channel. It just feels like there are a lot of concerns around this particular change, and having that discussion in the tech writers channel means that most people aren't going to see that conversation at all.
+1 to that.
Okay. Makes sense to me. All right, so the next one on the list is we are considering revising these community manager meetings. I dropped a note. There is a community manager channel that's been super quiet, super dead for a little while. I put a call out to that group. I think I had one person respond. I said, yeah, let's do it. And I know Mary Blessing will do it, wants to do it as well. So there's 3 of us. I don't know if that really warrants a whole other working group, but we do have some cool projects and some ideas. So I think I'll just leave it out and maybe ping people again. We were gonna have the first one this Thursday. But again, I don't know if we have the traction or the desire, the interest to really revive those. I wanted to bring it here to see if there was anybody in this meeting that would also be interested in taking part of those meetings.
Is this the same thing as the project manager meeting? Or
No.
That's a different group?
It is. Yep. So project managers look at all across CHAOSS, the different like sub projects that are going on. The community manager, so like an idea that we're thinking of are like the CHAOSS ambassadors. Like we brought those, we had that idea last year. We kind of tabled it for a while because we just didn't have the capacity to talk about it anymore or even make any movement on it. So things like that, things like the community survey, things that really involve community managery things. Because we do have some ideas that we want to maybe explore. Does that make sense? Is that clear, the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Are those discussions things that could happen in our community meeting?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think my idea was that I would bring those ideas to the community manager meetings or group so we could kind of flush them out a little and then bring it here to get the kind of opinions and feedback and more ideas from the bigger community here. But maybe that's not needed. Like for instance, if we did want to start a community ambassador, CHAOSS ambassador program, like I feel like the community managers it might be beneficial to have at least like an outline of, okay, here's how it would work, here's what we're thinking, and then bring it here and present it to this group for feedback and like a decision on it. Or if we need to revise, whatever. But just kind of opening the conversation up from ground zero seems like a maybe not the best effective, efficient way to put that together. But I could be wrong. I don't know. That was just my feeling.
Yeah, if it's a big topic, I'm okay with a group of people kind of iterating on what that topic is. The ambassador stuff, seems completely fine. And bringing it, then I think your point was just kind of bring that document or whatever came out of that iteration to the general meeting.
Okay, wait, say this again. I don't think I understood what you said.
Well, agreeing that I think a community manager meeting, it's nice. I mean, if you have a like a focus group of people to iterate on a topic and get that topic down to size, that can be nice. And then bring that topic, say here to the general meeting. It is just one extra thing that has to be done by you or the community manager. You know, somebody's got to like attend both meetings. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't mind that. And you know, again, we may not even have an extra meeting for community managers. It might just all happen async in the community manager Slack,
Okay.
which is kind of what we had been doing before. I just wanted to like squirt some life back into it, you know, revive it a little bit, get people more excited about participating in those kind of projects.
Yeah, I think it's an important, I think community management kind of at large is an important thing to keep in the front of people's minds.
Kevin, does that jive with kind of how you're seeing this, or what's your opinion on this?
I would just, it's kind of the same thing that I argued before. It's just try to make everything as transparent as possible, and multiple channels kind of create opacity through complexity. So that being said, if you feel that this group needs to meet, then you would know better than me if they need to meet. So I would just say reflect on how, if we're creating a new channel, if we're creating a new group, reflect on how we can make it as transparent as possible, because we are kind of creating a lot of silos of work, right?
I mean, there are times though, like we can't do everything, like
Yeah.
within like general meeting. Like I think there are times when like noise does have to be reduced a little bit.
I agree, and I'm not arguing that. And I'm just saying, every time we create a new channel, we should reflect on this, how we can make it more transparent. Or
Yeah.
how we can make that process transparent. So I'm not arguing against this group, and I'm not really even arguing against the other one. I'm just saying we should really think about it and try to avoid communication complexity and siloed work in our open source project, right? It should be as open and transparent as possible. So
Yeah, and just to be clear, this Slack channel has been going on for a long time. It just has kind of become a little slow. Like there hasn't been much activity for a while. So because there are some like new, fresh ideas coming up, that's why we kind of thought maybe we should revive the meetings to get like just inject some life into it. But again, if we don't have the interest, that's also totally valid. Yeah. So I think, you know, to your point, Kevin, I think part of my job as the overall community manager is to connect what is happening in the working groups back to this meeting and provide updates. And weirdly, to tie it back to the group of co-chairs, that was another reason I was thinking I would want to reach out to everybody in the group at once. Who has an update we can share at the community meeting? If you can't be there, let me know, I'll share it. Like I feel like I don't have that place right now. I individually reach out to people for updates that we can share here, but I'm not consistent with it, and I don't have like, it's not easy for me to, you know, in every single channel find out like and DM all these co-chair leaders to say, hey, do you have anything to share? You know, I'll put it on the agenda for you if you do. But having that meeting would allow me to be better at making sure that stuff that's happening in those working groups is less siloed and is a little more transparent, to your point, Kevin, because I totally agree. Like I want to know, you know, what's going on with CHAOSS Asia. I haven't talked to Divya in a while. So like what's happening? What are you guys working on? You know, like we all should know that. We all should hear those updates. And we don't really have a good process for that right now. So sorry, another side quest. So many side quests today. Thank you all for coming on the journey of all of this stuff. I see this, I'm gonna go ahead and move on really quick because we only have 3 minutes left. I'm so sorry if that's okay. And we want to get to the rest of the stuff at least to say it. So I'm gonna let Dawn grab this next one.
Oh, we had Cooper come into this meeting a couple of weeks ago to present some of the OHM stuff that they've been working on. And we had them come into the data science working group a week ago, which I missed. But what we wanted to do was just kind of a deep dive into how they use the data and the metrics. So this is more of a data science perspective than you gave a quick demo of what it did here, but we're going to dig into the data. And so we're going to do that on April 15th at 10 a.m. Central Time, which is the same time as the data science working group, but on the opposite week. So this is just an opportunity for us to dig into something that anyone else is welcome to join us. That's it.
Thanks, Don. Miracle, yes. That is a big yes to that. If we end up holding it, yes, you are welcome to attend. And you should join that Slack channel if you're not in there already. Okay, who put this on here? Who wants to talk about this?
That was me, but I said next meeting. We can talk about it next meeting. And then I also put the web front page image on there. This is not about content, but I know we have those 3 sliding images on the web page, and
Yep.
I don't think they auto slide for me anymore. I think they used to, but maybe we stopped that on purpose.
Hey, could you do me a huge favor and just open an issue in the website repo?
Sure.
That would be awesome.
And
We
I
have a
like
bunch.
I
in
like
there.
the images. Like maybe our first image could be something else, like change it up a little bit. Yeah. But yes, I can open an issue.
That'd be perfect. Thank you. We have a list. We've gotten a list of suggestions from some newcomers, which is fantastic, which is awesome. But yeah, it was a lot at once. So you'll see there's a long list of suggestions for the website.
No problem.
And then my final thing was just gonna ask the committee, when do we need to start connecting with each other? Is that something soon, or I don't want to keep badgering you all if we don't even need to meet until May. I don't know. Do we have thoughts on that? Anybody?
Depends on if we're going to have we talked about having a CFP. And so if we're having a CFP, we really need to open that.
Yeah.
Like now, we can't wait, I don't think. And we did it pretty late for the last one, and people couldn't get visas to come.
So I guess maybe since we're out of time today, we just bring that up async. If that's cool in that channel, we can talk about it.
If this is in June or July, I kind of forget.
June 26th. Look at the reminders here, right here, Matt.
No, sorry.
Just kidding. It's literally on every reminder of every meeting that we ever have.
It needs to be bold or something. Help me out. Blinking and spinning. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean, have we decided that we were going to do the CFP? I just don't remember the conversation. I saw a note, not kind of a nod.
I don't think we decided. Yeah, we didn't.
All right, well, probably we need to sort that out ASAP. Because if we are, I am with Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we, I thought we were meeting after this meeting.
Oh, yeah, right. We can. We didn't. Yeah, we can. We just kind of put it on hold for a little while. Do we need to bring that up again? Do we want to restart those?
Well, probably.
Yeah, sounds like we need to.
Do we have? Okay, yeah.
I did kind of think we had sort of decided on having a CFP because a lot of people in North America are, well, we talked about how we thought maybe the group discussions weren't going to work as well because it was after, and because the group discussions that we've had in North America in the past, like at the last one, we never really used that stuff anywhere. And so it feels like maybe talks would be better. So I'm personally a fan of having a CFP for North America.
We got really good submissions for Europe this last time. I would love to see if that trend holds for North America too. So I would vote CFP as well.
All right. Well, then we probably have to recycle all that stuff from Europe for North America. Okay. I gotta go have a meeting.
All right, I'll see y'all later. Thanks again for coming, everybody. See
Bye.
you later. Bye.